The twin flame journey is unlike any other spiritual path. It's raw, destabilizing, illuminating, and profoundly transformative. Among the many phases twin flames encounter, the dark night of the soul stands out as one of the most profound and one of the most misunderstood. During this tumultuous period, ego death often emerges as a possible route to transformation and union. But is ego death the right choice during the dark night of the soul and a twin flame connection? Could it hinder the sacred dance between divine counterparts? Let's unravel this through the lens of twin flame dynamics. Ego death refers to a deep, transformative experience where your sense of I, your identity, attachments, and personal story dissolves. In the twin flame journey, this can manifest as the collapse of illusions you once held about love, self-worth, and control. In spiritual traditions, ego death is celebrated as a gateway to expanded consciousness, where you experience yourself not as a separate self but as part of the one, pure, interconnected existence. For twin flames, this can translate into feeling the shared soul essence between you and your counterpart. Without the ego's constant narrative of me versus you, you can experience a deeper telepathic bond, unconditional love, and the surrender that paves the way for union. When a twin flame connection triggers a dark night of the soul, often during separation, the ego's defenses are stripped raw. The runner-chaser dynamic can bring up old wounds, abandonment fears, rejection trauma, and the need to control outcomes. Some believe that embracing ego death at this stage is like burning away the false self so that only unconditional love remains. Proponents argue that if you let go of all egoic attachments, you can accelerate spiritual growth and close the gap between you and your twin. The idea is seductive: surrender completely, dissolve the pain, transcend the push-pull dynamic, and reunite in bliss. But the reality is more nuanced. While ego death sounds like the ultimate key to spiritual liberation, it's not without its pitfalls, especially in the emotionally charged twin flame journey. Psychological fragility. The connection can already push you to your emotional edge. Going headfirst into ego dissolution without grounding can leave you disoriented or spiritually unanchored, making the connection harder to stabilize. Spiritual bypassing. Some chasers may use the concept of ego death as a way to avoid facing deep pain or inner child wounds, believing that transcendence will automatically heal everything. But unresolved trauma can resurface later, sometimes more intensely. Integration difficulties. Even if you experience a profound moment of surrender, weaving that back into your day-to-day reality, especially when your twin's actions trigger you, can be an ongoing challenge. Instead of an all-or-nothing approach, many twin flames find that a balanced, intentional process works best, one that acknowledges the potential of ego death while respecting its intensity. Here are key considerations tailored to the twin flame journey. 1. Self-reflection and inquiry. Before rushing toward ego death, ask yourself, am I seeking this out of a genuine desire for spiritual evolution, or am I trying to escape the pain of separation? Am I ready to face what might be revealed if I let go of my identity as the chaser or the runner? Self-reflection in the twin flame path means looking at the mirror effect. Your twin reflects your inner wounds, sometimes painfully so. If your motivation for ego death is to stop the pain without integrating the lessons, you might be bypassing the very growth your soul planned. 2. Balancing patience and intention. In the dark night, patience is not passive waiting, it's active surrender. Twin flames often feel an urgent pull to fix the separation or fast-track the union by dissolving the ego. But just as the connection unfolds in divine timing, so too does your spiritual transformation. Allowing the ego to soften naturally, rather than forcing it into collapse, can make the process gentler and more sustainable. 3. Mindful exploration. Ego death in a twin flame journey doesn't have to be a dramatic, all-at-once event. It can happen in layers. Each trigger your twin brings to the surface is an opportunity to release an old pattern. Approach these moments mindfully. Use meditation to witness your reactions without acting on them. Journal the emotions stirred by your twin's absence or presence. Recognize when a thought is an ego defense, fear, control, pride, versus your soul's truth, love, compassion, surrender. 4. Guidance and support. Because the twin flame path is so emotionally intense, having a grounded guide can be invaluable. This might be a spiritual mentor familiar with twin flame energy work, a therapist who understands both attachment theory and spiritual awakening, support groups with other twins who can share helpful tips for integration. Guidance helps prevent the ego from reasserting itself in subtler forms, like spiritual superiority, I've surrendered more than they have, or conditional love. 5. Integration practices. Integration is where twin flame growth truly becomes embodied. Ego death moments, whether small surrenders or profound shifts, need to be anchored into daily life. Consider creative expression, write poetry, paint, or create music to channel the emotions that surface. Embodiment practices, yoga, dance, or conscious breathing to keep you rooted in the present. Acts of service, love expressed outwardly often reinforces unconditional love inwardly. Integration also means living your life fully during separation rather than waiting in spiritual limbo. Paradoxically, this self-fulfillment often magnetizes your twin back. One of the biggest misconceptions in the twin flame community is that ego death means losing your identity entirely. In truth, it's about loosening the grip of the false self so your soul-led self can shine. In practical terms, you still have a personality. You still have boundaries. You still pursue passions and life goals. What dissolves is the illusion that you are incomplete without your twin, or that you must control the journey for it to work. The decision is deeply personal. There is no one-size-fits-all answer for whether you should surrender fully to ego death during the dark night of the soul. Your soul knows the pace and depth of your transformation. For some twins, the dark night naturally initiates a gradual ego dissolution that paves the way to harmonious union. For others, the ego's boundaries serve as necessary scaffolding while they heal core wounds first. In the end, whether you consciously induce ego death or allow it to happen in stages, the twin flame journey will strip away illusions. The dark night of the soul, with or without deliberate ego death, is a sacred passage. It's not meant to destroy you, but to rebuild you in alignment with unconditional love. The key lies in self-compassion, resilience, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. You are not just preparing for union with your twin flame, you are aligning with union within yourself. When that inner union happens, the runner-chaser dynamic begins to dissolve naturally. The connection shifts from a painful tug-of-war to a harmonious dance between two whole, sovereign beings who choose each other from love, not from need. Ego death, when approached with discernment, can be a catalyst for this transformation. But the most profound surrender is not to the idea of ego death itself, it's to the divine intelligence guiding your path. Trust that whether you're in the deepest night or seeing the first light of dawn, your journey is unfolding exactly as it should.